Today is March the 5th, 2016, and I am sitting next to a woman with a Lake Wobegon t-shirt on. I'm going to ask you, what is your name?
Phoenix Hocking.
Phoenix. Tell me, what is your earliest memory?
Oh my gosh, my earliest memory is of, I was born and raised in Santa Barbara, and my father was a writer. And I can remember we lived in an old house that had a bow seat where you could sit at the window. And I can remember sitting in that window seat, listening to my father tape his stories in a reel-to-reel tape recorder as he walked up and down, and he would tape the stories that he wrote. And so that's my first memory.
Was your dad a published author?
No.
Well, it's
No
a
such
fascinating story, just to start out a little. So, tell me, you were born in Santa Barbara.
I was born in Santa Barbara, Cottage Hospital.
Where? I bet you've lived in other places.
Oh boy, have I.
Well, tell me about a few of them.
Oh gosh. Well, let me see. Santa Barbara, when I was a kid, we did Santa Barbara, San Diego, Reno, Vegas, Santa Barbara, San Diego. We did this little triangle thing. And then when I got married, my husband and I moved up to the Redding area, lived there for a long time, moved to Arkansas, had 3 acres, and a mobile home in Arkansas.
Where in Arkansas? It wasn't Dice, Arkansas, where Johnny Cash was raised, was it?
No such luck. It was around the Fayetteville, Springdale area.
Fayetteville, Arkansas.
It was a nice place. Moved to Maine at one point. Moved back to California, and when my husband passed away, I moved to Mexico.
Wow.
For 6 months.
Incredible.
And then back to the Visalia area, and I'd been gone from Santa Barbara for 30 years, and it was time to come home. So
and you're back living in Carpinteria?
I'm living in Carpinteria.
Fantastic. Tell me about your family members. Were you an only child, or did you have other brothers and sisters?
Oh no, I was the baby of the family for a long time. There were 5 of us at that point. My older brother Frank currently lives in Virginia. My sister Penny comes next. She lives up in Tulare. Then came my brother Bobby. He has passed away. My brother Ricky lives up in Redding. Then there was me. And then my brother Billy was the afterthought.
You were the baby of the family until Billy came along.
Until Billy came along.
Got it.
Yeah.
So, tell us about your jobs. Are you currently working, or do you have any hobbies?
I am retired, and thank you God for that.
Besides your being a fan of Garrison Keillor,
Right.
with your sweatshirt, what are your hobbies? What do you like to do?
I'm a writer.
Are you a writer?
It runs in the family. I'm
What?
a writer. My father was a writer. My brother Frank is a writer. We write. That's what we do. I remember when I was a kid, my mother tells me that I wrote my first poem when I was 7 years old. And it was, someone has punctured the dark night sky and the lights of heaven are shining through. And she thought that was pretty cool.
It's very nice.
And I still remember that.
Very nice.
So yeah, I'm
Are
a
you
writer.
still writing poetry?
A little poetry, mostly at this point I'm writing fiction.
Really?
Right.
Interesting.
Have 3 books out.
You
Three
have
three nonfiction.
Give us the titles.
And 3 fiction. My 3 fiction titles are Keno Dean and the Trouble with Teensy, which is sort of a young adult novel. The sequel to that is called Becoming Grace. And then I have a book of short stories out called More Like a River. Yeah.
Very nice. Can you describe the happiest moment in your life?
Oh my gosh.
Or one of them?
There's so many. I consider myself blessed. You know, the happiest, it would be hard to choose, simply because I consider I'm poor as a church mouse. I don't have 2 pennies to rub together most of the time, but I'm absolutely blessed. Absolutely blessed.
It's wonderful. big influences on your life?
Big
Can you tell us about the big
influences.
influences on your life?
Definitely my father. Definitely my father, big influence. And strangely enough, some of my favorite authors. When I was a kid, Edna St. Vincent Millay was one of my favorite poets of all time. And she did influence me. I get a lot of influence from the things that I read, which kind of comes with the territory.
Absolutely,
Yeah, comes with the
makes
territory.
sense, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. Do you have a pet peeve or several?
Oh, I do.
You do?
Yeah,
Tell me
afraid
about a couple
so. People who mispronounce words or use really bad grammar just make me crazy. And online, oh, I understand, I do. People use this text shorthand stuff, and it absolutely makes me bonkers. There was a child that we lived next door to who, for the life of her, could not say the word typewriter. It always came out taparatter. And people who say realtor instead of realtor drive me nuts. I know it's all about words, isn't it?
It is all about
It's all
words in
about
your
words.
life,
It's all about
absolutely.
words.
Let's end with a humorous story or a family or a personal humorous story.
Humorous story. Gosh.
Or as an alternate question.
Well, actually,
You have one?
I have sort of a little one. My
Okay.
brother will probably kill me for this, but we'll do that.
We don't have to
Yeah.
put it on the reel.
It's okay. Oh no, go ahead. He believe me, he knows the story. But when my mother got pregnant, she was in her 50s with my lovely brother, the Afterthought, who's a marvelous human being. He's just the sweetest guy on the planet. But she was quite surprised. She went to the doctor because she wasn't feeling well. And the doctor said, "Well, honey, you're pregnant." And she said, "No, I'm not." "Yes, you are." "No, I'm not. I've been through the change." "No, you haven't." It's like, oh no. So which is how Billy came along. And today Billy he and his partner have adopted 6 children. And they are just a wonderful, wonderful family. They're doing well, so yeah.
Well, we've just talked with Phoenix Hocking. Thank you so much.
Well, thank
now,
you.
is there a story behind that sweatshirt?
I love Garrison Keillor. I do. And
You're a writer.
I'm a writer. It's all about words. Put a math problem in front of me and I'll be going, what? But give me words any day. Any day.
You have a favorite show or bit of his that you like to listen to when you listen to his radio show?
Gosh. Well, his, News from Lake Wobegon, of course, is always wonderful. He did a skit once with, it's something about where he was chasing a chicken down the alley so that they could have the chicken for dinner, and the chicken was not cooperating at all. And I was just rolling. Very, very funny skit.
He's something else.
Yeah. He was.
Thank you so much, Phoenix.
Well, thank you.
You're
Thank you for
fantastic.
inviting me. This was fun. I wasn't expecting to do this today, so this was good.
It will be on Larry's website at some point in the future.
At some point in the
So you'll be able
future.
to watch it online.
Yippee. All right. Well, thank you. Thank
I
you.
like your first name.
Oh, thank you. Me too. Me too. All
I
right.
should ask you how you got your first name.
Oh,
You wanna add that?
actually, if you want to know.
Yes, I do.
Well, it's actually a little bit sadder, but
I didn't ask you about the saddest moment of
about
your
the
life.
sad part. My childhood was not always real happy, and I had a lot of emotional baggage attached to my birth name.
Your birth name.
My birth name.
Got it.
And when I dumped the baggage, I dumped the name.
Well, there you go.
And Phoenix, rising from the ashes, seemed appropriate, and so I've been Phoenix now for about 20 years.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's great. Well, thank you
Yeah,
for
so
telling
there
us
it
the
is.
story, Phoenix.
You bet. Yeah.
Bye.
All righty. I guess we're good.
She's fantastic.